World Weightlifting Championships, and it's the men's 85 kilo class. Andrei Rybakov, former world champion, stepping onto the stage.
See how out of breath he is.
Yeah.
He's had a super quick warm-up, 10 minutes, that's it. He was one of the last on in the snatch. Only 10-minute break, and he would have needed maybe 7, 8, 9 warm-up lifts. That's pretty much 1 per minute with no recovery. Well, hopefully he can at least have 2 minutes now to catch his breath.
It's not easy when you haven't had much time. If you're great at snatch and not so good at clean and jerk like him. 182 then. Pretty much bang on 400 pounds. Think about that.
Elbows fairly low. Good position overhead. Splits nice and evenly, forwards and backwards. Very low. Sorry, very low starting position as he came off the floor, lifted his bum up. That's what sent him forwards.
I was just going to say, the truth is, he actually has the total world record. At one point in time, he had a good clean and jerk, but things have just slipped a little bit. And he was well over 200 kilos at his best, but he'd be lucky to get near 190 today. Seems to have kept his snatch, funnily enough. Rybakov as he ages. There's the champion from the snatch, Ivan Markov, who did 179. He's at the top left of the warm-up area. You can see him down there. And, well, we expect him around the 200 kilo mark. He might join in. As for the others, the highest posted start weight, Rastami 210, Okolov 210. We heard Saar was clean and jerking enormous weights, but he's opted to come in at the 200 mark. So have a lot of the men. Markov, Enakin, Alamov. We'll have to wait and see. The biggest lifter last year on clean and jerk, Aukadov's coming in at 202. There is Aukadov, just walking around the back, probably not too much on the bar just yet. Yeah, watch the way he jerks if we get to see it. There we are. No split jerk.
140. Just popping it overhead, playing like it's an empty bar.
So Rybakov back out again.
This is a fitness test for Rybakov this afternoon.
Is indeed the 32-year-old. 2 silver medals at the Olympics. Multiple World Championship medals. 2 years in a row. He won all of the medals. Snatch, clean and jerk, and obviously the total. It was back in 06 and 07.
Oh. Like the previous attempt, just caught it with his elbows low. If I were his coaches now, he's following himself. Give this guy a chance to recover. The coaches now should be asking for the platform to be swept or for the bar to be cleaned. You see he's got a cut on his shin. There's a chance there could well be blood on the bar. Let's give it a clean anyway. Buy him a little bit more time. Every time the loaders come onto the platform and have to do something to the bar, then the clock will stop, so it would buy him a few more seconds.
That's the basketball coach's equivalent of calling timeout, isn't it? I suppose they'll always do it, especially if you're crying wolf a bit too much. But Rybakov, having missed that 191, he did jump 9 kilos up there. There's Saar, who we've heard some impressive things about from the warm-up room, or rather the training hall this week. Randall Strawson of Iron Mind was saying that him and his coaches were hoping to keep close enough in the snatch to put whatever he needs on the bar in the clean and jerk and go for it. Those were their words. There's the Uzbekistani athlete, Alimov. He sits down in 8th in this after the snatch. 168 kilos he did. Leaves him 11 kilos adrift of Markov. If you have any questions as to what's going on here, why there are these pauses and one man follows himself, You're certainly welcome to send in a Twitter question to @Michaela Breeze, who's sitting alongside me, who's probably better to answer the question than me. But if you want to get in touch with me, @GiantsLiveWSM as well. So Rybakov is coming out for his third and final 191 again. Wobble on his left arm there, just, but he should get that, I think.
I think he'll get that. He's not going to be walking away with an overall medal today, nowhere near his world record total.
3:57 is total. He's still down on the #1 B group man, Kulaku of Albania, who did 3:65 earlier in the day. But he at least moves. He'd have sat on that 182. If he hadn't have got that, he'd have finished 21st in the clean and jerk and 3rd in the snatch. And there'd only have been 7 kilos of difference between the two, which would have been a little strange. Even less if he'd have made that final snatch at 179. Yes, his clean and jerk has gone downhill a bit since his absolute heyday. Rybakov. And here is one of the bright new things of Belarusian weightlifting. 196. Kadisevic. 169 in the snatch. 3 out of 3 personal bests right across the board.
И пошел, не торопись. Ногами, держи.
It's just a minor positional problem. Pushed himself away from the bar. That bar needs to be directly overhead, so you have your whole body weight underneath to support it. Clean was good. Better to see the jerk from the side angle. Not quite underneath the bar.
Is that not quite kicking his leg forward enough, or just the way he shot the bar up?
Back leg a little straight, pulling the hips backwards, but also he's tried to shove it with his upper body, and that causes him to push himself away from it. If you drew a line from where the bar was, straight down, vertically down, it would have been in front of his hips.
Not a good position to be, trying to hang on to nearly 200 kilograms. As these are the current standings in the clean and jerk. We're looking at the men up the top from the B group earlier on. 200 kilos, both Martasidis of Greece and Kulaku of Albania managed that. And there's the Chinese athlete, looking happy, and so he should do. He's had a good day's work so far. 170 in the snatch. He's 9 kilos behind Markov, but Qian Xiao has equaled the clean and jerk world record of 218 as a junior. He still is a junior, so maybe we'll see the world record broken by him today. Possible, very possible. Kadisevic looks a little out of breath, a little flustered here. He failed his opener, following himself.
Локти повыше. И пошел, не торопись! За голову! Держи!
So much better. Well, when you see that he can execute with that ease, you just wonder what could have been possible had he achieved that on his first attempt. Bit of a wasted lift. Hence the shake of the head. Why didn't I do that first time? Draw a line down now through the bar, shoulders, hips, and everything will fall in line.
This is where it becomes a little interesting because, for his sake, where does he go to next? That's the question. You got Saar, who's actually just dropped his opener, so much for the whatever the others do. Put more weight on the bar and I'll win it. Thought and technique that they were planning. Tactics from the Koreans. He's actually going to come in third from bottom, as it were, in this A group. So the former Olympic champion from the 77 kilo category in 08. His big return after injury from 2012. Maybe not quite as explosive as he hoped. Having said that, he's just returned to 200 kilos, his opener. So who is coming out next? We think it might be Kadicevic again.
Bulgarian coaches running around. One coach will be keeping an eye on the scoreboard to see if any changes from the other athletes. Another coach will be given the responsibility to run to the table to change the weight. The athlete can just focus then on the lifts that they have to perform. But when the athlete is called, they have to make the change of weight before the clock runs below 30 seconds. Sign picture here, ready to come out for his first attempt. He's lowered his... Oh, he did lower his starting weight. He had 200 in, then he lowered it to 197. He's put it back up to 200.
Confusion reigns, and out he comes. 200 kilograms, 440 pounds. And, for those viewers in the UK, I like to think in stone, about 32.5 stone off the top of my head. A little bit more, actually.
Oh.
Kicks that overhead.
Well, he used the whip on the bar big time. The bar was never stationary. And it's very rare that the referees fail the oscillation.
Yes, it often comes with persistent offences, doesn't it? People start to get a reputation.
You see, I don't know if that is oscillation. That's just the bar naturally whipping. What he's done is recovered very quickly, one breath and go again. So it's not like he's deliberately oscillating that. That's just natural whip.
I would agree with that. It's so heavy now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard not to. Benjamin Enecat. Big clean and jerk in his arsenal. His personal best, a whopping 2:15. World record 2:18. Some men here could do that today. Well, not a great start. Having done 3 out of 3 in the snatch, and things looking good there. To fail to open in the clean and jerk, his favourite discipline, that's a surprise.
Well, the clean was fairly strong. Just looked to be sitting quite high on his shoulders there, possibly across the windpipe. Either way, his legs did not fire. Need to really drive through the starting position.
Alamov coming out for 200 also. He's done a 2:05 at his very best. He's gone past his personal best in snatch by a few kilograms.
It's more comfortable in the jerk phase than the clean. right knee by the looks of it, might be giving him some jip. Moves him forwards off the floor, recovers well, stands strong.
Anaka is following him out, and expecting 200. Yes, 200 on the bar. Still, they've decided not to go up. Well, you don't see him miss a clean very often, that's for sure. He's got incredible leg power, Anaka. So he can stick it overhead.
Better, not overly convincing. Frustration. Wasted first attempt. He needs to be better than that on a third if he's going to execute any more weights.
Yeah, I mean, he's still down in 6th position overall. He's gone past the best of the B group lifters. So different from when he was really firing back in 2011 at the World Championships when he got silver. Clean and jerk 208 that day, Anaka. Now, Kadisevic, his final lift, 200 kilograms. He's done this before at the Belarus National Championships.
Пошел, не торопись! За голову! Держи, стой!
And he's done it again. So a couple of kilos improvement on his best total.
Yes, and he's gone into the lead. 369 is total. He's gone from 5th overall into 1st. And for the time being, Kadisevic, in his first ever major international, is leading the World Championships. Still 5 men to even enter the clean and jerk. Well, this is interesting, and perhaps a little surprising. Chen Xiao coming in perhaps a bit earlier than we thought he might. 2:05. Remember, he's done a 2:18 for a junior world record. He still is a junior, despite having just turned 20. But he did so well in the snatch. 170, big personal best. This would put him way up into the lead. A couple of lifts to go.
Squat jerk. And if you can do it, if you can pull it off biomechanically, it's probably the most efficient way of lifting, but you have to have so much flexibility in the shoulders, the hips, to be able to do that. And then when you've stood up with a really heavy clean, you've got to squat it again. There's not many people in the world that can do this. It has to be spot on in terms of accuracy, no room for error, cannot be forwards or back.
Yes, and he won't be the only one doing it. We've got Apti Aukadov to look forward to as well. It looks great when it's pulled off properly. Now, Artem Okolov coming for 2:05 for his opener. And he's done a 2:11 before. Oh, and you can see why. Look at those legs. Phenomenal power.
Something's not gone to plan in the warm-up room. He had a 2:10 down to start. And he's lowered it to 2:05. And on the opposite side, Ukadov, his teammate, has gone from 2:02 up to 2:05. So they will be level pegging on the clean and jerk on first attempts anyway.
Well, Ukadov came in when he is the reigning champion, of course, Ukadov, 205 is what he did for his opener last year, so it's great to see he's over that back surgery. And here he is, doing the same weight. Well, there was only one other man who was nearly as high as him for the opener, and that was the Cuban Hernandez last year, 204. He did the highest opener in clean and jerk. And well, this year we've still got Markov and Rastami to come in at 07, 207 and 210 expected.
Well, that was a power jerk, didn't quite go into the squat position, didn't need to.
Didn't need to, that's great power. Well, back surgery's gone well. Still ranked number 2 though. Okolov, his junior compatriot, is just ahead of him. And that's what he cares about most. It's all about regaining that title as world champion, a combination of both the disciplines, snatch and the clean and jerk. So he's going to have to play quite a canny game here to reply to what the others come in at now. What's Markov going to do? 207 we expect. Stami, is he really going to come in at 210? Stami, remember, 178 in the snatch. Markov 179. Olukadov 173. He's giving up a lot of weight, Olukadov, from that snatch. Benjamin Enecat still on the prowl. Well, Georgy Markov is, not Georgy, his younger brother. Ivan Markov is coming in. 8 years, Georgie's junior. 207. Exactly as he planned. This will stick him straight into the lead, well above the others.
Well, faultless overhead. Such a tall, rangy guy. It's a long way for the bar to travel. Compare him to some of the shorter, stockier lifters like Okolov of Russia. He's at a big disadvantage with that height, but he uses his technical ability and strength very well.
Yeah, I guess if he was more flexible, he might try and move his arms out there. The Bulgarians were one of the first to really do that a number of years ago, but it's all flexibility to be able to do such a trick before the jerk. Now Alimov 207 as well. Still has 35 seconds to go here, no rush.
Aye. Aye. Локти поднимаем, локти.
Oh, great aggression, 7 kilos up from his first attempt. Still one attempt remaining. These guys are fighting hard now for the medals. He's in some discomfort there. I thought so after his first attempt. I think he's struggling with his right knee. And like all of the lifters we've seen thus far in these World Championships, they are under so much strain with these weights. Great lockout with the elbows.
So, leading the way at the moment is Ivan Markov, a total of 386. Still 2 lifts to come. We're looking at Saar here, who still has 2 lifts as well, but he's all the way down on 365, 21 kilos adrift from Markov. So he would have to go up and better the world record by some margin to have any chance of winning the world title overall. going to do that. I think he's going to go for 210 here. Sark. Waiting for the scoreboards to update as the coaches are jumping around, changing the weights. Remember, it's a rising bar, so you can never go back down. So 210 and up from here. It's his second attempt. This will take him up to 375 as a total. And it would take him to 6th position from 8th. But in the lead of the clean and jerk.
Oh. Well, was that a head problem, not believing he could do it, or was that a timing issue?
Very odd. He kind of looked over to the left-hand side of the bar as if the collar was on incorrectly or something like that. It's surely with that much weight on those kind of things couldn't ever put you off, could they?
Well, we shouldn't notice it. Should be moving so quickly, but he bombed out at the Asian Games earlier this year, so this would be a confidence boost if he could get it.
Still to see Rostami join the contest. 210 is what the Iranian is calling for. Benjamin Enekan is back to another warm-up lift. He's obviously betting the house on his final lift. He's only done 200, having failed the first effort at 200. So we're around the 210 mark. What's he going to go to then?
Well, I thought he was called out next. He's obviously put his third attempt up. He's missed 200, got 200. From what we can see, he's chosen 210. But we're now watching him just ticking over in the warm-up room, keeping the legs firing. So he's obviously gone up from the 210 mark.
Yeah, there's the Chinese Qian, who looks like he's been given the signal by his coach to get in the queue, as it were, in the holding queue, as it's Rostami who's coming out. Sweat on here, hopefully not too out of breath. Let's hope he got his warm-up right. 211, because this is a colossal opener. Let's hope Razazadeh, the head coach, hasn't got this one wrong. Did 3 out of 3 in the snatch. 178 is a kilo behind Markov from there.
Well, the clock is ticking. He's not even on the bar yet. He knows how long he has left. There is a clock on the platform. He needs to get a move on, though. Well, that looked an effort. Can he stand still? Just watching his right elbow. Let him put it down. That elbow. Oh, I'm not. I've stopped. Put it down. Put it down. He's asking, why didn't you give me the down signal? I was standing still. That's what he's asking. Well, the jury will be watching closely.
White light from the judge in front, so the referee in front. And will this go to the jury's table? He certainly put himself under colossal strain there, and holding it.
I reckon as well in the warm-up room, the coaches would have been under some pressure. If you look at the scoreboard now, loads of lifters have suddenly gone from 200 up to 210, 211. I reckon he's had to rush his warm-up, which is why he took so long to get himself on the bar. Feet not in line. Feet are in line, but the bar's not stationary. From my understanding, so long as the feet are in line, he should have been given that down signal.
Well, nothing's happened, and Qian Xiao comes out for 211. This is 6 kilos up on his first good lift. He's in 4th position at the moment. This will take him up to a 381 and into 2nd. Still well behind Markov, though. Wow.
Slightly in front.
Just slightly.
Slightly's no good. Well, if that was a split jerk and it was slightly in front, the lifter could lunge forwards to get himself back under or take a couple of steps forward. But when you're in this position, feet are locked to the floor, there's no way you can go.
And it almost looked like he was about to go, and then he kind of pulled back from going. Not sure if the bar, because it was rotating backwards, or
he did that on his previous attempt as well. There was almost like he was ready to dip, didn't quite, and then did. Maybe that's to get the momentum moving on the bar.
Okolov, the other junior, 211. Slow off the floor. Great leg power, though.
You wouldn't bet against him on the jerk, would you? Just looks so comfortable overhead.
Not with those particularly, not particularly long arms. It doesn't have to go that far. He just looks so strong overhead, doesn't he?
Great extension, very quick under the bar, catches the bounce nicely, adjusts it off his shoulders. Really is textbook stuff.
So it's a bounce back to Ivan Markov on the scoreboard, and out he comes for 211. So 4 kilos up. He's currently the leader with 386 as a total. This will take him to 390, and it's starting to get away from the others here. This is a good move if he can get it. Sticks it, good efforts. Markov's done it 206 last year at the World Champs, and now he does 211 in the clean and jerk, and he looks like he's going to be getting on the podium this time no matter what, and it may well be gold.
Some sensible calls with the weights from his coaches. 5 out of 5. Really nice position overhead, particularly for somebody so tall.
It's been a superb series, really. You think of the Olympic Games when he finished 4th as well. Last year at the World Champs, 4th. He did 203, then jumped to 209 and just missed it twice at the Olympics, and ended up just behind 3rd. He's got his tactics absolutely spot on today, and it's good to see. Sometimes you think the strongest man doesn't always win. Good tactics are certainly a part of it. Now, Benjamin Enecat is going for 211, having failed 200 at the first. They've just got 200 at the second. It's a big ask for the Frenchman. He has done 215, but that was in the past. Too far ago in the past, I'm afraid. Back when he was really at his best. Silver medalist in the World Championship in 2011, and not quite in that shape, as you can see now. So Enecat, he'll end up 10th overall, 10th in the clean and jerk, which will hurt him. He was always really looking for a medal in that. His snatch not being so good, he knew he'd struggle in the total. Janusz Rostami comes out for 212, a kilo more than he just failed, but he was battling that weight for 10 plus seconds, and he almost eyeballs the referees there. He's not happy. Let's hope he gets it out of his head and he can concentrate. Remember, he was in 2nd after the snatch. He's put himself under big pressure coming out for the heaviest clean and jerk opener. And now he's under bigger pressure.
No, on his toes. Wow, it's all very well posting the heaviest weight on the scoreboard, but it's not what you start on that's important, it's what you finish on.
I mean, you can read a lot into his facial expressions there. He was all too quick to stare again at the referees in anger, and he's almost got his excuse ready in his mind. He's almost given this one up, I think.
Well, let's hope he can find the mental strength required now. The sign of a true champion is one that can pull out a big lift when it really matters.
Well, the Iranians are going to be shouting about this one afterwards if their man doesn't come out and get a good lift. There's Abdi Okudov, the reigning world champion, still with 2 lifts to come. And here is Sa, the 77-kilo Beijing Olympic champion. 212 on the bar.
And his last attempt, remember, didn't even commit to dropping underneath. Does he have the mental strength now to dig deep?
So taken from 6th to 1st in the clean and jerk.
It's a psychological problem he's got.
Yeah. A wee glance at the thumbs. Ah, it slipped out.
You can use that once, but not twice.
Not twice, no. Not likely.
Never wanted it, never committed. Afraid of hurting himself, maybe?
Well, would you like to drop under 212?
No, thanks.
It's a big ask, and especially if it's not a weight they've done much before, if ever before. Artem Okolov, the junior leads. Ivan Markov in second. This is the clean and jerk, remember. They've both done 211. But by virtue of body weight, the young Russian is in first at the moment. But Markov well in the lead of the total on 390. The man in second overall is indeed Okolov on 385, 5 kilos between them. So if Okolov wants to jump up to first and become the world champion, the overall world champion, he's going to have to go, well, 216 in the clean and jerk and hope Markov misses. Well, let's forget that for a second. The returning champion, Aukudov, his second lift. 213 kilograms, 8 kilos more than his first effort. Only 5 kilos away from the world record now.
Oh. Wow, psychological games going on in these athletes' heads. He's gone 213 to try and go ahead of his teammate and get himself on the podium. At the moment, he's off the podium. It's going to take a very strong man mentally to recover from that.
Well, you see, he's putting it to belt height there. His personal best, 212. I mean, he was standing last year, but he's had back surgery since then. So, Okudov, one reply left, but doesn't look good for him. Alamov, 213. This is his final effort. And, by the way, Qian Xiao has posted a 220 for his final effort. This will take him ahead of Aukudov in the overall standings into the bronze medal position from 5th.
Oh, back foot recovery all the way, but he's managed it.
Brilliant, brilliant lifting. 205 personal best. And just like in the snatch, 2 lifts above his personal best, and 213, 8 kilos up. That's just great lifting. Well, 3rd place overall at the moment. Ulugbek Alimov of Uzbekistan. That kind of lifting, he deserves to be on the World Championship podium. Not sure he will be, though. Still 5 men with a final lift only to come. Jonas Rostami, again, he glances over towards the referees. I don't think it's out of his head. He's did a great effort at 211, held it for an eternity, didn't get the lift, went for 212, didn't even really make a go of it. 213 now, and had that first one gone properly, I'm sure this would have been a weight he would have done. But right now, he's about to bomb out unless he gets.
It's a big effort.
Really good effort. Oh, yes!
Needs to stand still. Feet in line. Feet are not in line.
Well,
they gave him the down signal with his feet not even in line that time. Come
three
on,
white
referees.
lights, 3 white lights. He's done 2:13. I think we have to say that is quite an achievement. I mean, you see he's almost a broken man. He'd almost accepted defeat there. And 2:13 has just suddenly changed the whole face of this competition. He was about to bomb, having come second in the snatch, a kilo behind Markov, and now he's in the lead of the clean and jerk and the whole contest. Brilliant stuff from Kianush Rostami, and that was not easy at all. It could have gone the same way as the first lift.
It could have done. You know, it's sad when the referees are not consistent. Don't know, maybe the referees were intimidated by his response after the first attempt, but great recovery.
4 lifts still to come. Aukudov, 2:13 again. Didn't even give it a real go in the second effort. He's down to 6th in the clean and jerk, 5th in the overall. The reigning world champion about to lose his title.
Oh, at least he committed.
Yeah,
oh, he's holding that back.
Yeah, went straight for his back. He has had surgery. Whenever you hear back surgery, it does make you think, good goodness, how long does that take to recover from, really? See an athlete back within months.
Yeah, maybe needs a little more rehab, recovery time to be capable of those weights again.
Well, at the moment, it's Rostami in the lead. Markov now. He's just had the World Championship gold snatched out of his hands by Rostami. I bet he was banking on the Iranian folding after those first 2 misses. So he's got to summon up something special here. He actually only needed to do 2:13. He's now going for 2:14. But it'll take him back into the lead. No, goodness, that was the worst effort so far. He's made every other lift, Markov. And now when the questions were really being asked, he doesn't come up trumps. 2:14, doesn't even make a good effort. That's what'll be so frustrating for him. He didn't even have a chance to show his strength.
Well, just pulled that bar onto him, knocked him backwards. There's not much you can do when you're going. That's a real shame, because had he got that, then Ukulov would have had to have come out for a world record attempt to try and take top spot.
Well, hey, we still have Jian Qiao, who equaled the world record as a junior, posting 2:20. He's dropped that to 2:19, but that's still a kilo above the world record.
He has to take that weight now, because that's 2 changes of weight that Tai Chao has made.
Wonderful. So we have Artem Okolov to equal the junior world record, to equal the world record in the clean and jerk. Give him 7 kilos more. Take him up to 3:9.2 and into the lead. From 3rd to 1st.
Oh, tremendous effort. No.
No, a different day, a different moment. He could have done that. He was not far away, and he knows it. And he has to therefore settle for 2:11 in the clean and jerk. That gives him 3rd there, 3rd in the overall. Or does it? Because Jian Qiao has one party spoiler to come. He's the only man with a lift left. And remember, he only did 2:05 in his opener, failed 2:11, and is now coming out for 2:19 and a world record. That's what we've got to look forward to here. And were the Chinese playing games with that 2:11? Did he fail it as a part of an elaborate plan to lull the others? here you go, final attempt. New total junior world record attempt, and more importantly, world record in the clean and jerk. This will give him the world title. But he stood up with it. Can he get the world record? The jerk left, and
so close, so much better than his previous attempt.
He's done that before. I think he missed 211 on purpose. I think there was some real gameplay there. I know it sounds slightly ridiculous, but that was too close. His face says everything. He thought he was going to do that world record, and Qian Xiao, I'm afraid, is going to have to settle for 5th in the clean and jerk, 6th in the snatch, 6th overall. Rastami's your world champion. My goodness, the whole world's flipped on his head. That clean was easy. He caught that with an inch or two to spare. And how about this? Just missed the groove.
Very, very little wrong on the clean, absolutely textbook. As we've said about this before, so hard to catch a squat jerk exactly in the right position. You thought it was there, just as he went that little bit too deep, lost it in front. That takes so much flexibility in the shoulders.
Well, I mean, if he's a little emotional now, Kianis Rastami, I think we'll all forgive him. 211, and his whole world just started to fall around him, and then 212, he didn't even make an effort at it, really. And then 213, goodness knows how he turned it around to win the clean and jerk. Alimov also did 213, but is the heavier man, and Okolov of Russia gets 3rd in the clean and jerk, as he again is the lighter man than Alimov, the Uzbek. There is the Uzbek. In terms of the overall, I should say Markov gets bumped down the clean and jerk. Markov does get the clean and jerk silver medal, but not much of a consolation. He was really here to become world champion, as his brother was before. Kianis Rastami, he is the world champion. Great effort. Artem Okolov of Russia, perhaps not the Russian we expected, is the bronze medalist and on the podium for them. Well, Markov just looked like the champion. Tomorrow, it's going to be action-packed again. The Zielinski brothers going in the 94 kilo.